Yes. Let us discuss object-oriented programming. What is meant by object-oriented programming? Right. First of all, we need to know about what is object-oriented programming language and then object-based programming language differences. Object-based programming means object-oriented programming in the sense we are everything doing with an object. Means that we can create and we can update and we can delete and we can destroy the objects by using object oriented programming language. But by using object based programming language, just we can use and extend, we can use and extend the objects already defined. Right? We can use, yes, here by using object oriented program we can create, update, delete and destroy the objects, right? But here the delete is the different and destroy is the different. Delete in the sense just we are deleting the object which is present, and means that for example a is an object here, right? A is an object and then a contains the value 10. I'm just deleting the value a equal to 10 and giving the value is a equal to 10, means that it's a equal to 11. It's an updation, right? At the same time here what happened, it's deleting the value del, deleting the value in the object, that is delete. And then destroy in the sense I'm removing whole object a, I'm removing whole object a. Now a is undefined. Clear? Means that deleting in the sense you are deleting a particular value in a list or in a tuple or in a dictionary, whatever the different types of objects, but you need to delete a whole object in the memory, whole object location in the memory. Then what happen, you can give a delete of a, means that it deletes all the data and then a memory location occupying space also, memory space also, right? But here object based in the sense already defined, already some developers define some data and some objects, just we are accessing that object and you can able to extend the object to the next level. The best example is JavaScript is object based programming language, but the Python is object oriented programming language, means that means in Python what happened, each and everything you can define as an object, each and everything you can define as an object, it takes as an object. But here you can able to create an object, you can able to update an object, update the value in objects, otherwise you can able to create your user defined objects, right? And at the same time you can able to delete the location in the memory also, right? That is the difference between object oriented and object based programming language. And then one more thing is, what is the use of object oriented programming language? Means the main usage of object oriented program is the reusability. Advantages of object oriented programming is, the first one is reusability. Reusability, and then you can reduce code complexity, right? And then security, portability, right? And then platform independent. Platform independent, right? What is meant by reusability? First, reusability in the sense, for example you defined one object and then you want to access a particular object wherever you want and whenever you want. That is reusability of object. For example, if you write any module or any object like add of 10 comma 20, right? Add up 10 comma 20. Then what happens? You can, if you want to add any two values, then directly you can call a method like add. Then it reduces the code complexity also. Each and every time you don't need to write a data, another you need to write a code for a particular module or particular function, right? That is the reusability and reduce code complexity. The next one is the security. Security in the sense how you can provide a security means here the Java and Python programs does not contain the concepts like pointers. Means what is mean by a pointer first? Pointer in the sense it refers the address of the next variable, other address of another variable. So if you have an address, then you can get easily the value, right? If you have the memory location where the data is stored, then you can get a value in a couple of times, right? So the security, you can establish the security in Python. How? Why the security is very important means that if you are entering any data, or if you want to store any data in a database or in a Python objects, the type of Python objects, then what happens, the data is going to the object. If you know the object value, if you know the object, then only you can get a particular value. Then it can't. And then here you are using some access specifiers like public, private, protected, or something like that. Means that public in the sense you can able to use the data in anywhere, and then private in the sense you can use the data for your organization, and then protected in the sense you can give the data for your sibling classes, means extended classes. That is the access specifiers you are using. So you can say that the Python is more secure than other programming languages like functional oriented programming languages. And the next one is portability. Portability in the sense you can able to give the data, otherwise you can able to execute the data, or execute a code in different different locations, not in the platforms, it is in different locations. Means that for example, if you are dumping the data in a particular server, then what happens, you can able to access the particular data in different types of locations. Means that better if you have an environment like PEP environment, Python enhancement proposal, PEP, right? Python interpretation. If you have the Python interpretation, then what happens? You can able to easily execute the program. Means it's the interpreter language. One more thing, it's the interpreter language, right? Because it executes line by line. If you have an interpreter, then it's okay. You can execute wherever you want. But what is mean by platform independent in the sense? Platform independent means it's not depending on a single platform like Windows operating system or Linux operating system or Unix operating system, something like that. And it's something architectures like Intel Dual Core or Pentium or something like. If you have an interpreter and then it creates its own environment, it creates its own environment, then you can get the data. Otherwise, you can execute a particular code by using that environment only. That is the use of object-oriented programming languages. And then what are the different object-oriented concepts, right? Object-oriented programming concepts, right? The first one is abstraction. The first one is abstraction. Now, what is mean by an abstraction first? Abstraction in the sense it's an the act of representing the essential features without giving a background details. Means that, for example, if you want to buy a car or if you want to buy a mobile, then what happens? You can search for what is the RAM, and then what is the ROM, and then what the processor you are using, and then what the camera, and then what is the color of body color of a mobile, and what is the future, something like that. But you are not depending on, or you are not searching for what type of processor, how it executes, how the clock process is working, right? So the abstraction in the sense for whom which data is distributed, that data only distributed, means that it hides the data for unnecessary uses. For one more example, if you want to buy a car, then what happens? You can go to the car showroom and you are looking for the exterior of the car, and then what is the mileage, and what is the interior designs, right? and then what is the seat capacity, and then align something like that. But you're not giving much priority how the engine is working and how the clutch press is working or how the pistons is running or not, right? So abstraction in the sense it is an act of representing essential futures. It's giving the futures which future you want, means which future the user wants, right? And then it hides the data which is not recommended for the user. Okay, for whom, which data you have to provide, that data it will provide. Okay, that is meant by abstraction. Abstraction in the sense the act of representing essential futures without giving the background details is called abstraction. The next one is encapsulation. Encapsulation in the sense it is a combination of data and code. It's a combination of data and code. Combination of data and code. What is meant by data? Data in the sense here, if you are creating an object, that object contains the data and the object contains some value. So that object, you are using that object for the process. You are using that object for process, that is called a code. Right? For example, in a class or in a method, what happened? You are defining a equal to 10 and a equal to 11, and then the a value you are just increasing the a value in a module, right? That module or that function plus your data, your objects is called encapsulation. The best example for the encapsulation is class. The best example of encapsulation is class. We will discuss what is a class about next time. Next, inheritance. Right? What is meant by inheritance? Inheritance in the sense it acquires property from super to sub. It acquires a property from super to sub. Means that if the previous class or some class contains some data or some behavior, you are just acquiring that behavior and objects to the next class, that is child class. Here the keywords we are using, the terminology we are using, like, right? Yes, inheritance in the sense it acquires the property from a super to subclass. Super to subclass. Super class in the sense, for example, I will show you. Uh, for example, here it is a class A, it's a super class, and then it's a subclass. It's a subclass, and then you are acquiring the property from superclass to subclass. Means the A contains the data A equal to 10. You are getting the data A equal to 10 by B also. You can access the A value present in A class to B also. That is called acquires the properties. Properties in a sense here, the property means in programming languages your data and your code, your data and your definitions. You can access the definitions and your data to the child class also, right? We will discuss about we will discuss detailed in later classes. uh, hmm? Right, the next one is polymorphism. Polymorphism in the sense, yes, polymorphism. Polymorphism in the sense, poly means a many. Mobs means it's a forms. You can. It is an ability to take more than one form of data. Form of data means here I'll explain you what is polymorphism. Add of I'm giving the value a comma 10 a comma b. I'm giving something like add of a comma b. Definition of add of a comma b. I'm giving the data, and then here I am writing that print a plus b, right? Okay. Now I'm just calling a of 10 comma 20. It goes to add of 10 comma 20. At the same time, I'm defining a data like add of a. I'm giving only a, right? I'm just printing that value a. Let's see. The add of 10 comma 20. It goes to 30. It goes to previous method. Now I am giving add of a of 10. Now it go to here. Means definition add of a. I'm printing the data a. Now add of 10. It goes to here. See. Let's see this example. Here what happened? I am giving one. I am giving the different types of forms. It means that I am giving two variables here. I am passing two variables. It go to add up two variables. But I am giving here only one variable, and then one value means it go to one object parameter method. So here what happened? It can take a multiple types of data. It can take a multiple types of data. You are providing a functionality like the method, a particular object can be able to access a multiple types of data, like previous class we discussed in a variable length arguments, right? So that is also an example for a polymorphism. Clear? Polymorphism is nothing but it's just we are providing a functionality, the method or a class or an object, whatever it may be, the ability to take a more than one form of data, one form of data. Here you are giving a two variable parameters, and then it goes to two variable parameters method, and then you are giving only one parameter, and then it goes to one parameter method, right? Means that the add is a method which you are providing a functionality like one parameter and then two parameter, right? That is polymorphism, right? This is the object oriented concepts present in Python programming languages. Or object oriented concepts is basically it's for different programming languages too. But now we will discuss about what is mean by an object. What is mean by object? For example, what is an object? Object in the sense it's a real world entity which is differ from other. A real world entity which is differ from other. Object in the sense right. Here, what is meant by real world entity? You can treat anything as an object. Means as a pen or mobile or a visiting card or a laptop, whatever it may be, it's an object. But by what is the use of an object in the sense, you can able to access the behavior of a particular class of elements. For example, let us consist of fruits, fruits, and then in fruits, what happened? Mango and banana, orange. These are the different objects. Mango is one object, banana is one object, and then orange is one object. But by using these objects, you can say that it is come under the classification like fruits. So here the class is a fruit is a class, and then fruit contains the different objects like mango, banana, and orange. Clear? Means you can able to access a particular type of behavior. Why? Because fruits are not contains the behavior like vegetables, right? So it is object, right? What is mean by right? Yes, exactly. What is mean by an attribute? Attribute in the sense, if you are giving data, if you are giving a data under some variable, that variable is called, you can say that it's an attribute. If you are giving any type of data to a particular object or particular variable, that particular variable is called an object. But now we need to understand that what is the difference between the object and attribute, right? Object in the sense, object you can refer a, to the some classes, it refers to the classes, but attributes you can't refer to the classes. Why? Because the attribute consists of only the value, but the object consists of reference to. That is the only the difference between the attribute and objects. Now we can see some examples, like for example a equal to 10. Now when we can say that a equal to 10 is an attribute. Why? Because the a contains the value only 10, right? Only 10, and then you can able to update the data a equal to 11, that a remains same. That is an attribute. But if you give the same a in a list, the same a in a list, then what happens? Now the a is a reference for a list. Means that the a contains the values like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. By using this one, I'm just, it's a reference variable I'm getting the index of 3, it's a 4. Means that the object, now the a is an object, it contains the values of 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. By using the object you can refer the value by using indexes, by using any other reference variable. That is a major difference between the attribute and object. But in Python, what happened? You can treat it as each and everything is an object only. Here the a is also an object, and then here this list contains a contains a list. It is also an object. Clear? Now, okay. The next class we will continue this. To what is meant by a class, and then how to declare a classes, and then how to embed a module to the classes and functions to the classes, and different concepts like that. Thank you.